Hey, what's up guys? It's Olivia and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my third Escape the Readathon vlog. It's probably going to be my last vlog of the readathon just because next week, like when I'm finishing this, I immediately leave for my cousin's wedding and I'm gone for 5 days. So this will probably be the last vlog. I was going to start this vlog yesterday and in pure Olivia fashion of the first vlog or the second vlog, just update at midnight or after midnight when I'm a little incoherent. But then my roommate got called away on a pet sitting emergency. The family had to fly down south for a family emergency, so she like last minute went over there. So I was like, might as well do it during the day when all of your thoughts are in order. So just very quickly, because we were supposed to start it yesterday, I'm going to talk to you about the books that I read yesterday and then we'll hop into today. So yesterday to start, I started with The Employees by Olga Ravin. This is like 125 pages. It's real short and quick to get through. My team was in a competition where instead of books read, pages mattered, and I didn't want to end in the middle of something because then you can't use that book for whatever your next prompt is. And I'm not a fast reader, and so I just wanted to make sure I'm contributing to my team as much as I can. So I started with something shorter. This is 125 pages. This is translated from Danish. It's a sci-fi book, and we are following both the humans and the humanoids on this spaceship, and they are collecting artifacts from a new planet, and the artifacts are kind of affecting them all a little weird, and suddenly there's a lot of tension between the humans and the humanoids. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's told like in statements to HR, so it was really interesting. I gave this a 3-star, but I do understand why so many people love it. For me to love a book, scream it to the heavens, want to reread it, I want a connection to the characters. And like, there's not a single character name in this. Like, that's not what this book is about, but it was really good and it was really clever. And what I was gonna pick up before I picked up The Employees and start it the night before and just power through as much as I could, and that did not work out for me, was Middle Game by Seanan McGuire. I was like, might as well just pick up one of the biggest books on my TBR if we're doing pages. But since I am such a mood reader, I'm really trying this month, like if I'm not feeling something, to just put it down. Because I feel like if I force myself through something, then I'm going to slump and I'm going to be of no help to my team. So I only made it 45 pages into this, and it was starting to get interesting. I think it was a little bit of a slow burn in the first 45 pages, and I was like, come on, let's go, let's pick it up. But I think we were getting there. So I think I'm going to try to fit this in somewhere this summer because I do still want to read it. This isn't like I'm DNFing this book. It's just, it is not for readathon Olivia because I don't think that would go well for us. So then, since I couldn't do my massive book, I just figured I would pick up Heartstopper Volume 3 because I have been trying to reread the 3 volumes that I have read before Pride, so once Pride starts, I can read 4 and 5 because I haven't read those. I gave this one a 4-star this time. I gave it 3 the first time I read it. Just like the first 2, I gave them 4 stars the first time I read it, and I gave them 5 this time. The thing is I love these books. Like, I think about them all the time. They make me kick and scream, and I adore them. This one just has a little less of that effect, but I do like the conversations about mental health that happen in this third one. And then I'm wondering, I've seen the second season of Heartstopper, and it's not all when they're in Paris, so I wonder if I've kind of spoiled myself for volume 4 a little, but it's been so long since I watched it that I don't remember. But this was really good, and it was great to continue on with Nick and Charlie's story. I want to get a different edition because I think I just ordered this on Amazon in the middle of the pandemic. And like most of the comics, they're like glossier pages and they all have like a set color tone, and this one doesn't. But I think if I find a newer copy, it will. So I want to do that. On to today, but before I tell you about what I'm going to read, I'm so excited. I got a library card. I know that maybe it's not like that crazy exciting because like everyone has them. I haven't had a library card since I was a little kid. Like, I'm shocked that it's not just a little piece of paper. Not me just realizing that I washed my hair today and I didn't put a single anti-frizz anything in it. I grew up in a really, really small town, so we had our little town public library that I used when I was like a little kid. But then when I got to high school, like my high school had a pretty good library, so I didn't use it at all. And then I just lived in Boston for the last like decade, but I still had my New Hampshire driver's license, so I didn't get a library card. But now that I'm in Rhode Island, and last week I went and I got a new license for the state I actually live in, I can get a library card. I haven't pulled this part off yet because I have to junk my car and get a new car. So I'm going to wait until I have a pair of car keys to put that on. So overwhelming coming from a small town library. Like, that's my last experience, probably over 15 years ago, probably like 20 years ago. So there was a lot going on. I think I'm definitely going to use like the hold system. But I did find 2 books just in like the new fiction section. First, I found The Night House by Joe Nesbo. I know that I've read this synopsis twice and that I'm interested in it. That's why I picked it up. I don't fully remember what it's about. So sorry for that voice that doesn't sound like any real person ever. All that I know about this one is there's like a phone booth that this kid thinks is like eating people. All I know. The second book I got was Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. I have never read a Chuck Tingle. I think before horror he wrote like a lot of smut, maybe. All I know about this is we have autistic rep. Our main character is autistic and we are at a conversion camp. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to do a reading queer horror vlog next month, but this isn't due back to the 7th, so maybe I will wait to read this. I have zero idea when I'm going to read either of these, and if I will, I think I'm going to try to fit this in somewhere in Escape the Readathon, and then since I have the whole first week of June, and this is queer, I think I'm going to save that for then. But I'm so excited. I do think I am going to use the hold system a lot more because I think that's going to be much less overwhelming. Okay, but on to today's reading, since that's what we're all really here for. I am going to start by picking up No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. This is following, I believe, 3 sisters who their parents died like 14 or 15 years prior, and we don't know why or what happened, and none of them live in their house anymore. And then I think are we just following one sister the whole time? I don't know. I've only read the first 2 pages. One of them has to move back home because she loses her house or something, and they haven't been in this house since their parents died or were murdered or whatever happened. So that's all I know about this, and I can't wait to get into it. My camera's getting hot, so we're gonna wrap this up. I'll check in once I'm 100 pages in, but that might be all I read today. 100 pages is my page goal for days that I don't work, and I do really need to start editing my vlog from last week because I'm pretty sure I was like, I'm gonna edit as I go, and I haven't imported a single thing of footage yet, so I'm gonna do that. But I will see you when I have an update on this. Okay, I am now. I spoke, so here he comes. He wants to be included. Can you lay down? Does your leg hurt? Little amputee. Okay, so I'm now a little over 100 pages in, 107. We're toggling between all 3 sisters' perspectives, though we're mostly in Emma's, who's moved into the house, and we're going back between then and now. We've mostly seen the 2 sisters in then, so like right when their parents died or a little before, but we haven't seen them much in the present day. I have a few theories, but I'm sure they're bound to change because we really haven't even learned much about the dead parents so far and what they were like before they were dead. So there is going to be, I think, some curveballs thrown my way. I don't know if like it's written with the intent or if I just tend to lean this way in a lot of thrillers that I read. I hate the husband. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to, if he's just gonna end up like sucking the whole time, but they're in this house now because of a poor financial decision that he made that he didn't tell his wife about and didn't consult her, and now they're there and he's like, so now that we're like in the house that your parents died in and it's like the root of all your childhood trauma, I would kind of just really love if you didn't leave the house ever and didn't come into town with me, because I don't want people gossiping about me. Your parents were murdered here and it must be so tough to be back, but please stay in here so strangers don't talk about me. I hate him. But like I said, I'm enjoying it. I'm not really like enthralled. Like, I do want to keep reading, but I'm not like oh my god, like I have to know. Maybe that'll come into play at some point, like maybe as I get to know the characters and the mystery a little more. But right now, it's an average little thriller for me. So we'll see where the twists and turns take me. I also forgot to show you guys earlier, but I showed you my library haul, so I figured I should also show you some recent books I've purchased. I have now used Pango for the first time, Pango Books. I've always known about it, but I've never really like used it because I go to bookstores a lot, so I'm not often shopping for books online. But I have to get a new car, and I've had like my car since high school, so it's been done, paid off, but it's also a hunk of junk, which is why it's now at a junkyard. So I figured if I want to keep buying books, I should at least do it in a financially responsible way. And I was able to get some books that I've had my eye on for a while and can never find in any bookstore I roam. I have 3 books to show you. I figure I'll show you this one first because it's fitting to the theme of the month, and it's Cotton Candy Massacre by Christopher Robertson. I don't know much about this. I think there's like some scavenger hunt or something that goes on in this carnival that's exclusive to seniors in this high school, and this group they win or they get to go or whatever. But then when they get there, they suddenly start being murdered. I mostly picked this one up because Lexi did a video recommending like carnival reads, and it intrigued me, and it was pretty cheap. Next, I got a book that I look for every single time I am in a bookstore, and I can never find it, and that's When the Reckoning Comes. Oh my god, what was that? A sticker! Interesting. Did that come out of here? That's so cute. I guess the person from this Pango shop put a sticker in. I like that. That's cute. But, so I got When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen. All I really know about this book is this woman's going home for her childhood friend's wedding, and her friend is white and has decided to get married on an old plantation, which is just not a great vibe. And then I think there's ghosts, and I think they're gonna wreak havoc on this white person wedding at a plantation, which I just think is great. So I can't wait to read this one. Maybe it's shorter than I thought it would be. How long are you? 237 pages. I might read this month because I heard about it probably like a year and a half ago, longer maybe, and I have been obsessed with finding it and reading it ever since. So this one's gonna be on the TBR soon, I think. The final book that I got is Una Out of Order, and I have no idea who this is by. Margarita Montemor. This is a book about a woman who every year I think wakes up in a different year of her life and is living her life out of order. And it just seems like kind of the type of weird contemporary fiction I'd be into. Like Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. Like, it's kind of giving that vibe of contemporary fiction, so I'm interested. And again, it was like $5 for a hardcover that like there's not a single dent in it at all. So I'll take that. I don't know when I'm going to read this one. Hopefully this year, because I do really want to read it, and I also can never find this one in a bookstore. I ordered like a bunch of other books, but those are the 3 that have come so far. I think I am a Pango girly now. I think I'm going to be on there a lot. Okay, I have to go start editing because it's nearly 7 o'clock and I haven't done that yet, but after I will probably read some more tonight, and I'm hopefully gonna finish this tomorrow because I think it's like barely over 300 pages. 325 pages. Yeah, wait, well, when do I work tomorrow? Oh my god, I'm 2 to 1 a.m. again tomorrow. I take it back. I'm not gonna finish this tomorrow. And then I'm 12 to 6 on Sunday. Why does he do that every week? Oh, you were here until 2 a.m.? You don't want to be back? Noon the next day? No, I don't. Okay, well, I'll probably see you Sunday then, because that's not gonna happen, but Okay, so while I was talking to you with my last update, my team unlocked the building that we were reading for. Now, I very tactically always choose my read to either fit in the current building we're going for and the next building we're going for, or to just go for the next building, because I know that I'm not a fast reader and there are a lot of people on my team that are fast readers, and this building's going to be unlocked beforehand. So I just make sure I've got all my ducks in a row. But this time, the way that the game we've received works is we're sticking books into spinner wheels and seeing, like, letting the spinner wheel choose our read. I clarified. I asked if I could put my current read in the spinner wheel, and Monica said yes. So thank you, Monica. And basically, I can't read more than 2 books. Like, I can't read another book on top of this. I'm not a more than 1 book at a time kind of gal. I used to be before I injured my head, but now, like, trying to keep everything straight and switch back and forth doesn't really work for me. But also, if I put this down, there's extreme possibility I never pick it up again. Like, I just need to read what I start and then finish it, or if I do pick it up again, like, maybe have to reread the whole 100 pages, which I don't want to do either. So no matter what, I'm going to finish this book first. The spinner wheel is really going to decide if I can log it for the game or if I'll just go log it for the next building we're working on. But I'm putting in the spinner wheel with this, When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen, and The Night House by Joe Nesbo. Both I told you the synopsis of earlier. Me just picking the newest things on my TBR. So I have my spinner wheel up. You guys can watch me spin. I have shaky hands, so sorry in advance. We're going to hope it lands on No One Can Know. But if not, then it'll be what I read after. I can't even tell what that is. When the Reckoning Comes. Okay, I was trying to watch it through the camera. Okay, so I'm going to read this and log it for our next building. And then if we are still in this game, I'm going to read this. I have, like I said, what is happening with the lighting? I'm very orange. We're just going to have to deal with it. How do I make it? I don't know how to make it reset. Sorry. Okay, so it's When the Reckoning Comes. I am going to still continue on with No One Can Know and log it for the next building. And then if we are still in this game, I will pick this up. This is probably the second best outcome after just landing on this and being able to do it for the game, because this is really short. So if I can power my way through this and we're still in a game, then that would be great. And then if not, I'll probably still try to fit this in this month because I'm really excited about having it. That being said, I'm going to be able to read more tonight than I thought I was going to, because I've started importing all of my footage into my computer, and I have more than one video of stuff that I need to import. So I started with my book haul, because also on the book haul is my intro to the vlog I need to edit. But the book haul footage alone said it was going to take 2 hours, and it's been over an hour, and it still says it's going to take an hour. So I don't think that I am going to get to edit as much as I thought I was going to tonight. So while I'm waiting for it to import, I'm going to read. Let me see if my roommate is on their way home yet. Okay, so my roommate's on their way home, but they're still probably about 30 minutes out. And maybe we'll have a fire, but we haven't really been watching any TV shows or anything together. So I should maybe be able to get another 100 pages in today. That would be nice. And then maybe I'll just have to get up early tomorrow and edit, which I don't love the idea of doing, mostly just because I can't nap. So if I decide to get up at 8 to edit, I have to be okay with being up from 8 a.m. until after I get off shift. And, like, we close at 1. So my 8 to 1 shift is actually, like, or my 2 to 1 shift is actually 2 to 2. I'm hoping, though, it's been really slow at work all week. So I'm hoping that I'm not stuck there that late, because I am indeed back on Sunday morning. So that's going to be cruddy, but we already went through that whole realization together a couple hours ago. So I'm going to hop back into No One Can Know and hopefully find out what it is that no one can know. And I will let you know what I know, except I can't because that would be a spoiler. I'm back with an update. I'm still reading No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. I have about 103 pages left, and I'm not particularly having a great time. At first, I was really excited, and I kept turning the pages, and then the other night, I got home from work, and I was like, just gotta read my 50 pages for my day, and I just, like, really didn't want to keep turning the pages, and it took me a minute to kind of figure out what it is. And while I've read thrillers before, I haven't read a ton, and I haven't read any kind of like this, because like I've read Taylor Adams' No Exit, or The Last Word, or Julia Bartz's Writing Retreat, or Confessions by Kane Minato. Like, I've never really done the domestic everyone has secrets thriller, so I don't know if this is probably a common theme with that, but the whole book is just a miscommunication trope, and it's like, miscommunication is my least favorite trope. It's my least favorite plot device, so I'm really not having a good time. I wish I knew I was going to feel this way like 100 pages prior, because then I would have just DNF'd this, but now I barely have 100 pages, so I'm going to finish it and hope that something happens that makes me not dislike it as much. So I'm going to go sit down and finish this, and I'll let you know my final thoughts once I'm done. Alright, so yesterday I finished No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. And my thoughts really from my last clip haven't changed. And really nothing in this book surprised me at all. So I think I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. I don't think this is the kind of thriller that's for me. Like, once I made it past the halfway point, there was nothing motivating me to keep turning these pages. And it took me so much longer to read the last 100 pages than it should have, because I just kept finding myself doing anything but reading this book. So I'm probably not going to think of this one that often again. Bummer, though, because, like, stunning cover. And, like, the end was, like, all right, but it's not for me. Like I suspected, I was not able to participate in the game that my team got into this weekend just because of my work schedule, like having a 12-hour shift, and then by the time I get home, I have less than 10 hours before I need to be back. Not much reading happening for me, although it is probably the ideal time for someone to be in a game. Otherwise, like, most people on my team have a traditional Monday through Friday job. So we got through it really fast, and I was able to log No One Can Know for our next building prompt, which we unlocked this morning as I was leaving for work, and now I'm home, so I'm going to start reading for that. And When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen can actually fit in one of these game prompts, so I am still going to be reading this one next. I haven't started, so I'm going to sit down, get into it, and let you know what I'm thinking. Alright, so I finished When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen tonight. I am giving this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I really loved most of it. I just wanted a little more spooky. I wanted a little more horror. Because it was horror and the horrific things that white people do, and the continuous way that we erase the past. That was very horrific, but I wanted more kind of like spookiness from it. But overall, 4 stars, really, really good. And I finished this just in the nick of time because I have to leave in like 7 hours for my cousin's wedding. So we did pretty good on timing for that. I think I finished it at 9 o'clock tonight. I packed, and now I just need to sleep and travel in the morning. Just a quick little recap of this vlog. I think this is going to be a quick one, which not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's a bit better for my learning. But I read The Employees by Olga Ravin. This was a 3-star. I read Heartstopper, Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. This was 4 stars. Originally when I read it, it was 3. I'm going to read the next 2 next month for Pride. Then I read No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. And I saw a review on Goodreads that said, no one can know, including the readers, at the end of this book. And that about sums this one up. 2.5 stars. And then today finished When the Reckoning Comes, 4 stars. And then just because I think this part is super interesting for me, in the month of May, I have now read 13 books and I have read 3,752 pages. That's just so exciting for me. I mean, that is over double what I've read in a month alone. And then also I am now 2 books away from reading the exact same amount I did in the first 4 months of the year, just in this month, which I think I can do. So I'm very, very excited. This readathon has been really fun. I was so nervous that I was just gonna get bogged down and slumpy because I was just like so overwhelmed with everything. So I'm really happy that that's not what's happened. I'm gonna maybe try to vlog the last week, but I don't know how it's gonna go just because I am gonna be gone for 4 days. But I think I'm gonna try to bring the camera and see how it goes. I just really don't think I'm gonna film a lot, but I'm gonna bring an audiobook. I have a 3.5 hour car ride there and then back, and then a couple of physical books too, and hopefully the ones I have I will be able to log for whatever my team is up to. Okay, these are the 4 books that I read this week, and I cannot wait to see what I read next week, and you will either see it in the said vlog, or at least you'll see it in my Ray wrap-up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video.